Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for January of 2025. In your current general energies, you have this Imagine card and this Orphaned card. And so the Orphan card can represent feeling left out in the cold. The Imagine card can represent bringing a dream down to earth, which is, they're kind of like conflicting energies, right? And so maybe you're just like imagining better times, or you're imagining like improvements, or you're trying to imagine, or you're trying to see that things can improve in your life. And again, I get a lot of stuff kind of popping into my head with those cards, so definitely could be something you're dealing with. You have the Temperance card, the Four of Wands, and the Page of Wands. The Temperance card is kind of like a card of patience or temperance. It's also a card of alchemy, or turning one thing into another. I always say that with the Temperance card, we can turn a negative into a positive, but we can also turn a positive into a negative with the Temperance card. So, and by the way, this reading looks really, really good here, Cancer, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much. But again, I think that, creating a turnaround could be what you're trying to do with the Temperance card. And funny enough, we have the Four of Wands coming up next. Everybody looks at the Four of Wands as marriage, which it can definitely represent, but the Four of Wands is really a card of setting yourself free. In a lot of like the older tarot books and stuff, they say that the Four of Wands comes up when we need to complete something, like we are completing one stage of our journey, or we're completing a project or a business or whatever, and then we need to kind of like cross through this portal so that we can have a celebration on the other side of the card. A lot of older tarot books also say this is a card of freedom, or setting yourself free. And so a lot of you could be setting yourself free from that left out in the cold energy. And it could be new love coming in for you. I mean, we have the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles here. Could be a water sign or an earth sign that you're attracting into your life. Could be any sign, general reading. But I would say it's someone who has like explored their emotions with the King of Cups, and probably someone who's very stable as well with the King of Pentacles. I like the King of Pentacles because usually it's a person who wants something long term, or someone who's very secure. But I also don't like the King of Pentacles. I kind of feel both ways about him. So if he didn't show up with the Ace of Wands here and the King of Cups, King of Pentacles can be a little bit boring. But again, the good news is you have the King of Cups and the Ace of Wands, so not boring. You have the Page of Wands. I feel adventure could be very important for you. I have a feeling that all three water signs are probably going to get the Page of Wands, and the cards, adventurous cards like the Knight of Wands. You even have the Fool here, which is also an adventurous card. It just seems to me like the beginning of the year would be a really great time for water signs to go on some sort of adventure. Because again, I'm a big believer that the first month of the year we should look at as kind of like a launch pad, or like a kickstart. Kickstart to the year, and we want to get started on the right foot. So, an exploration or adventure could be you just like, you don't have to go anywhere. It could just be you learning a new skill. Or it could be you doing something you've never done before. It could be you just learning about a topic and educating yourself on something. It could be anything, right? So I think that my brother right now, he's learning how to make bread. That is an adventure, right? So again, it could be anything. And I feel like, the Page of Wands just says pick one thing and see what happens. With the Temperance card, you show up really good. You show up as a Chariot. You always get the Chariot with me, Cancer, which is, you're like the only sign that always gets their Major Arcana card. So, this is you. And whenever you show up as yourself, puts you in a position of power and strength, and really allows you to get what you want. It's also a great card for adventure. So you could be going on some sort of adventure with the Chariot. With the Four of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is like a change in direction. Again, this is another thing that I think water could be very focused on at the beginning of the year. Is, it could be hard for you to not pay attention to things that aren't working. So the Seven of Pentacles is not necessarily a bad card. He's just asking, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it for me to keep working on these Seven Pentacles, or is there something better that I could be doing? And again, I can't answer that question for you. You have to answer that question. So I would just be looking at where you're investing your time, effort, and energy, and just ask yourself, like, should I keep doing this? Or, is there something better? With the Page of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. This could be good news, but this could also be like a new person communicating with you. So there's definitely love here, and if you want it, I feel like it's available to you. In the next row, we are going to look at what you can do to have the best start to the year. So these are going to be actions that you can take to really give yourself a good kickstart, like I just said. You have the Scales of Balance card. It says, find balance within yourself and things will balance out around you, of course. You have this Unfolding Beauty. It says, everything is unfolding as it should. Surrender and live in the unexpected. Yeah. And, I think that's like one of the biggest challenges for everyone in 2025 is there's like a lot of unexpected energy, but I think the people who get comfortable with it and just kind of go with the flow are going to be the people that have the most success. You have the Strength card, the King of Cups, and the Six of Swords. The Strength card, of course, is a card of building strength or having strength. It's also a card of quieting your inner voice. The lion here has its tail between its legs, and it is submitting to this lady on the card. The lion represents like her inner critic, her inner demons, her inner voice, and this is something that she has to work on every single day. So I think it would be a great year. Right at the beginning of the year in January, it would be a great time to quiet your inner critic and to do things to double down on the good stuff, or to do things to develop like mental strength, right? And so I think that would, the whole entire month, whole entire year, it would be a great time to work on that. You have the King of Cups. Again, a great thing to work on with the King of Cups is to explore your emotions and to sit with your emotions. It just says, there are things going on in life, and, can you just sit with those things and think about them and explore your emotions, like really become present in your body and explore the emotions that you feel about whatever you're thinking about, or whatever is important to you. And there is no right or wrong here, with the King of Cups, but the whole point of the King of Cups is that he has explored his emotions to a very deep level, and so he is perfectly fine. He's sitting in these choppy waters, but he's not freaking out because he knows exactly how he feels, and because of that, he is much more stable. So a lot of you could be working on stability. Again, we have this boat back here, and the boat on the King of Cups literally represents stepping into the unknown. So there's a lot, you had that card that said something about, surrender and live in the unexpected, which I definitely feel the King of Cups is kind of, making that message stronger, that there could be a lot of unexpected opportunities or things that you're going to be dealing with in January, and it just says surrender to the unexpected. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords would represent moving on to calmer shores. These people are moving through these choppy waters. If there are things that you're thinking about moving on from or moving away from, then, obviously it could just be a really good time for you to do that. And in the beginning of the year, and you could just be cutting things out. And we even have the Seven of Pentacles right here. And the Seven of Pentacles, says you have to look at everything you're doing and figure out what's worth it and what's not. So I think a lot of you are just removing yourself from things that just aren't working. With the Strength card, you have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords actually says you are clear on what you need to work on in your life. So, yeah, pretty good. She is very clear for the first time. She understands, like, what she needs to do to be successful in her life. So you could be just, gaining clarity on what you need to work on. With the King of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be love. If you want love, then I definitely feel that it's available to you. The Knight of Cups, though, can also represent your dream. And again, we have this Imagine card, where she is bringing her dream down to earth. She's bringing the moon, and she's trying to get it down to earth here. So I think for a lot of you that there could be something that you're hoping for or wishing for, and, it could just represent you working towards a dream. With the Six of Swords, you have the Tower. The definitely could be causing a tower moment. Like this would, with the Six of Swords, this could say that you are causing a tower moment for other people, really. The Six of Swords could be, with the Six of Swords, we are completely moving on. We are completely moving away from the past, right? And we're leaving everything in the past. To me, this card really does represent kind of like starting over in some ways. This woman and the child in this boat, they're bringing nothing with them but the clothing on their back. They are completely moving on, and just for the hopes of a brighter future. They don't actually know if the future is brighter or not. So in this reading, the tower, the whole point of the tower is that these people have been ignoring reality, and now they're being brought back down to reality. But again, in this part of the reading, we're looking at what you can do for the best start. So this isn't really going to be good or bad, and it's not meant to be. But what I think you can do is accept reality. The tower could say that you need to look at the truths that exist. You need to look at the reality of your situation and embrace it, and that's how you can have the best start to the year, is basically, looking at things that looking at the truths of situations or the reality and kind of just embracing the reality, right? And I kind of think that's what you're doing. Next in the area of, we are doing what we are going to look at what challenges you could be dealing with and how you can get ahead of those challenges in January, starting in January, but for 2025. You have this reframe card and this regret card. I think that you need to work on reframing. I think everybody does. It kind of seems to me like 2025 could be a little bit of a mindset year where, it's like having a strong mindset is going to be more important than normal. And so the reframe card literally says that you have the power to change things in your head and reframe situations and then turn those things into having a better outcome. The regret card, I think, is saying you need to let go of past regrets. First, you have this King of Pentacles, Ace of Wands in the Fool. The King of Pentacles as a challenge really isn't that bad, but, I like the King of Pentacles, but I also don't. Again, I have a love-hate with the King of Pentacles. He's a good card, and he can represent doing what works, but he is the card of convention. And so we are not in a conventional time. And so the problem with the King of Pentacles is that he gets stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again, and he gets stuck doing what works. Now, there is nothing wrong with doing what works, right? But on the same token, we kind of need to change with the times, and we need to upgrade our skills and learn new things so we can keep growing. I think that the easiest solution for the King of Pentacles, especially in a challenge position, is like 80% of the time, do what works in love and business and all areas of your life. 20% of the time, try new things and don't, rest on your laurels, and you'll be fine. So that's what I would do there. You have the Ace of Wands. I kind of feel like there could be an opportunity. Didn't I say this to you? I'm pretty sure I said this to you recently, Cancer, that, I don't really believe that a tarot reading will say that you must do this thing or you're going to regret it, right? Like, I don't think that's the point of tarot. I don't think tarot should say that. But, I feel like I said this to you in your last reading, and I kind of get the same feeling here, where it's like I feel like there could be an opportunity that comes in for you. It could be anything, but it could just like flash into your life. And it's like, are you really going to have regrets if you don't take advantage of this? No, but kind of is what I would say. So this is the second time where I really feel like saying, like, do not regret missing out on something. Again, I don't really believe that, tarot can make us regret something or whatever. So I want to stress that, but, I just feel like there could be a new opportunity or something that's exciting you, because usually the Ace of Wands is like a spark of hope or a spark of inspiration. So usually it's something that kind of sparks into existence. But the problem with the spark is that, a spark can go out very quickly. And so I always say with the Ace of Wands that we have to kind of put more wood on the fire to keep the spark building into a fire, right? And so the Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. And so clearly there's something new that could be coming into your life right at the beginning of the year here. But I think you need to make sure to keep the wood on the fire, keep growing whatever this opportunity is. And it literally could be anything, because we have the Ten of Pentacles right next to it. The Ten of Pentacles is basically everything you want and desire in your life. And again, I feel like you really need to stay motivated with this Ace of Wands. So if there's something that's exciting you or something that you're passionate about, I would, keep putting wood on the fire, which basically means, adopt habits to keep it growing. I would, adopt some sort of daily routine around the situation, whatever it is. It could be love for some of you as well. It's like, it could be a relationship that comes in, but you need to make sure that it keeps going. You have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith. The Fool, as a challenge, would say that you are afraid of looking foolish if you do something. So, yeah, it's pretty simple to me here, Cancer. I think that, really you're going to have to take some sort of risk or a leap of faith where there's a risk of looking foolish. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So, whatever you're doing here, I think that getting help from other people would be a good idea. Three of Pentacles can also represent putting your work on display, which could be a little bit of a challenge. But again, I want to stress, because every time I do challenges and readings, people are like, oh no, I'm screwed because of these challenges. It's like, no, that's not how it works. This is life. You're meant to overcome a challenge. So, again, you can easily overcome that. That's the whole point of doing a reading on it in the first place. And so the challenge you need to overcome is putting your work on display. Like, maybe you need to show off more, or maybe you need to, put something out into the world. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, it's like you feel like you're not ready, and this is where the regrets could come in. It's like maybe you feel like you're not ready for this opportunity, but really the Seven of Wands says you're as ready as you're going to be. So, whether you feel ready or not, ready or not, here I come, Cancer, right? So I think you need to grab onto that. Yeah, with the Fool, pretty simple. You have to take the risk. Five of Swords is my card of taking a risk. And so I feel like you have to take some sort of leap of faith, and it's probably going to be towards something that excites you or that you feel like you're not ready for, like some sort of opportunity. So I would, definitely take a leap of faith. Next, in the good stuff, you have this Whale Spirit. It says, trust in the great mystery. You also have this Electric Eel Spirit. It says, bring your ideas to life. Yes, definitely with that Three of Pentacles, for sure. So I think that for a lot of you, it's time for you to work on any ideas you have and to put them on display. Like I said, that's exactly what I would do. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. The Six of Pentacles can represent an investment or kind of like where you put your energy. Showing up in the good stuff, this would say that you are putting your energy into the right things. So, this is really good in the good stuff. And it could say that you are creating a lot of balance as well with your energy. You also have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. So I feel for a lot of you, you are working towards leaving a legacy. It's pretty clear to me based off this reading with the King of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. I consider all of these cards to be cards of stability. So, I think a lot of you could just be more focused this year on creating this level of stability in your life, which could be financial stability, could be love stability, work stability. It could be all of that together. So, that's kind of like what I feel here. Yeah, I feel like there could be a lot of success coming in. You have the High Priestess. The High Priestess can represent trusting your intuition more. It's coming up in the good stuff, so I definitely feel you need to trust your intuition. The other thing about the High Priestess is that she has unlimited potential. She has no roof over her head. And so the no roof over her head says that she has unlimited potential. There are no limits to what she can accomplish. The only limit is her mind, And so I think for a lot of you, this could say that, starting at the beginning of the year here, you could really have the opportunity to exceed your expectations. And I feel like the whole entire reading is encouraging you to go beyond your limitations or to exceed your expectations. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Magician. The Magician is all about law of attraction. Yeah, even with the Six of Pentacles, if we're giving to the wrong things with the Six of Pentacles and the Magician, then we're not going to attract what we want. We have to feed the right things to manifest with the Magician. So, I think a lot of you could be working on that, giving your energy to the correct things or the right things. And obviously that would be good. The Magician is also pointing to this card. It says, Spirit has a plan. Yes. So follow your intuition for sure. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords and the good stuff would say that you are healing your heart. So, again, the Three of Swords is all about forgiveness. We have to remove those swords from our heart to heal. And so a lot of you could be going through healing, which is great. With the High Priestess, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is like conflict or competition. Again, kind of going this way. It's I feel some of you feel like you're not ready for something, or there could be competition for something that you want, or you are working in a competitive field or a competitive business or whatever. But it's showing up in the good stuff. So, the Five of Wands is about learning from the competition and finding a way to overcome the competition and or to stand out, right? Even with that, even with the High Priestess, I would be looking into mysteries with the High Priestess, because the High Priestess is secrets and mysteries. So you might be able to discover what the competition isn't doing by trusting your intuition or looking into mysteries, and then you can rise above any competition that you're dealing with. You have this Club card. It says someone will try to make you do something against your will. I feel for months we've been talking about this with you, Cancer, where it just seems to me like people are trying to say oh, don't do this, don't do that. I would be very careful of doing those people. No one can make us do anything, but I would be careful of listening to people that say don't do this, don't do that, because it's they could be afraid of your growth. You have this bird perch that says waiting for news, package, or letter. I actually kind of feel like there's big good news coming in for you at the beginning of the year, so I like to see that. You have this March card and also this candle. It says you will be shown the way. Yeah, things could definitely be more clear in March. We have Mars going direct on February 23rd, and then we're going to be in the shadow till April 30th or something like that. But, again, for the most part, by the time we get to March, you could be feeling a lot more clear. You have this scissors card. It says disappointment in some affair. Again, I think this is something you have to let go of with the tower. The tower, I feel like you've already had the tower moment, but the tower is about accepting reality, seeing reality for how it actually is, and then moving forward, accepting the new reality and letting go of the old reality. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to, kind of like accept the new reality. You have this claw card. It says, be careful, do not take risks. I disagree with this card. I'm actually going to see what the next card is. Yet you have this sorrow. Maybe you've taken risks in the past. You have the sorrow over a loss card. I wanted to get clarity on this. I think you should be taking risks because of the Fool and the Five of Swords. And I also feel like the reading is saying you're not taking risks because of something that happened in the past or an issue. And I feel the Six of Swords is encouraging you to move past the past so that you do take risks or you do take the right risks. But overall, I like this for you here, Cancer. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.